Hey there, I'm Kimberly Atkins Store. The idea behind this podcast, Justice by Design, really came from my desire to not spend all of my time looking at what's wrong with our nation and lamenting injustices. I wanted to put energy on the people and the work that's being done to find solutions to those problems, to actually make our world, our society better, more just, more equal, give it a sense that it is meant to work for everyone. And part of that, of course, as I've already talked about, it deals with, taking care of ourselves and our own mental health too. So this week, the results of the election, I know, were not what a lot of listeners to this podcast wanted, certainly is not what I wanted. I do know that there is much work ahead to identify the perils and threats to the way of life as we know it, to do what we can to prevent those, and to be clear eyed about all of the work, so much work there needs to be done to make this a more just nation, to make America live up to the ideals upon which it was founded. But before I get to that, I just need to take a beat. I need to take a minute, just in um, thinking about what's ahead for us as the result of the election in the presidential race became clear. I thought about my grandmother, and she would always say to me, Kim, you're going to be president. And I would tell her, Grandma, no, there's no way. I don't want that job. Like, not a chance. She eventually started saying, well, you're going to be on TV. And so I said, I'd take that. And that was prophetic. But the reason she said that to me is because she had no doubt when she looked at me, a young Black woman, that I was in a world that I could lead if I wanted to, that there was nothing standing in the way besides my own hard work and determination. Yes, my work would have to be harder, better, and I would have to be more determined than most people because I am a Black woman in America. But it was still possible. She put her hope in that promise in me, so I saw it in myself. That's the same kind of hope and promise that I saw in Kamala Harris as someone who is a daughter of immigrants, a woman who proudly went to an HBCU, um, someone who worked hard, became a lawyer like me, ran for office, and served the public for 2 decades, someone who could talk policy, someone who looked like she'd be fun to hang out with, but somebody who was clear eyed and put forward a positive vision for our future. So the resounding way that campaign was rejected feels personal to me. It makes me think that no matter what, if it's not in the interest of Americans, individuals, as they cast their own ballot, as they see it, then it doesn't matter what is offered. It doesn't matter who is offering it. Well, I think maybe it does matter who offers it, I'm afraid. But that things aren't going to look the way you think they should, that the arc of history isn't going to bend so easily toward justice, in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King. So I know there's a lot of work to do. I will be back to do that work. But instead of having a guest on this week, I am just going to ask you all to take a beat to take care of yourselves. I will do the same. And then I will see you back next week.